Be here now. We're here now because God wanted us to meet. We're all just walking each other home. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. We're fascinated by the words, but where we meet is in the silence behind them. It is important to expect nothing, to take every experience, including the negative ones, as merely steps on the path, and to proceed. The most exquisite paradox. As soon as you give it all up, you can have it all. As long as you want power, you can't have it. The minute you don't want power, you'll have more than you ever dreamed possible. I would like my life to be a statement of love and compassion, and where it isn't, that's where my work lies. In most of our human relationships, we spend much of our time reassuring one another that our costumes of identity are on straight. The heart surrenders everything to the moment. The mind judges and holds back. Be here now. Treat everyone you meet like God in drag. Your problem is you are too busy holding on to your unworthiness. As long as you have certain desires about how it ought to be, you can't see how it is. What you meet in another being is the projection of your own level of evolution. Suffering is part of our training program for becoming wise. The most important aspect of love is not in giving or the receiving, it's in the being. When I need love from others, or need to give love to others, I'm caught in an unstable situation. Being in love, rather than giving or taking love, is the only thing that provides stability. Being in love means seeing the beloved all around me. When you go out into the woods and you look at trees, you see all these different trees, and some of them are bent, and some of them are straight, and some of them are evergreens, and some of them are whatever. And you look at the tree and you allow it. You see why it is the way it is. You sort of understand that it didn't get enough light and so it turned that way. And you don't get all emotional about it. You just allow it. You appreciate the tree. The minute you get near humans, you lose all that, and you are constantly saying, "You are to this," and "I'm to this." That judgment mind comes in. And so I practice turning people into trees. which means appreciating them just the way they are. The spiritual journey is individual, highly personal. It can't be organized or regulated. It isn't true that everyone should follow one path. Listen to your own truth. Everything changes once we identify with being the witness to the story instead of the actor in it. Only that in you, which is me, can hear what I'm saying. Let's trade in all our judgment for appreciating. Let's lay down our righteousness and just be together. A feeling of aversion or attachment towards something is your clue that there's work to be done. We are all affecting the world every moment, whether we mean to or not. Our actions and states of mind matter because we are so deeply interconnected with one another. The next message you need is always right where you are. I can do nothing for you but work on myself. You can do nothing for me but work on yourself. I would say that the thrust of my life has been initially about getting free, and then realizing that my freedom is not independent of everybody else. Then I am arriving at that circle where everyone works on oneself as a gift to other people, so that one doesn't create more suffering. I help people as a work on myself, and I work on myself to help people. The game is not about becoming somebody. It's about becoming nobody. If you think you're free, there's no escape possible. Every religion is the product of the conceptual mind attempting to describe the mystery. I'm not interested in being a lover. I'm interested in only being love. Learn to watch your drama unfold, while at the same time knowing you are more than your drama. It's only when caterpillarness is done that one becomes a butterfly. That, again, is part of this paradox. You cannot rip away caterpillarness. The whole trip occurs in an unfolding process of which we have no control. We're here to awaken from the illusion of separateness. Information is just bits of data. Knowledge is putting them together. Wisdom is transcending them. If you think you are enlightened, go home for Thanksgiving. The resistance to the unpleasant situation is the root of suffering. It's all real and it's all illusory. That's awareness. Our whole spiritual transformation brings us to the point where we realize that in our own being, we are enough. Everything in your life is there as a vehicle for your transformation. Use it. When we see the beloved in each person, it's like walking through a garden, watching flowers bloom all around us. Across planes of consciousness, we have to live with the paradox that opposite things can't be simultaneously true. It's very different because the Indians live as if they are their souls, and Americans live as if they are their egos. Healing does not mean going back to the way things were before, but rather allowing what is now to move us closer to God. Our interactions with one another reflect a dance between love and fear. The question we need to ask ourselves is whether there is any place we can stand in ourselves where we can look at all that's happening around us without freaking out, where we can be quiet enough to hear our predicament, and where we can begin to find ways of acting that are at least not contributing to further destabilization. In our relationships, how much can we allow them to become new? And how much do we cling to what they used to be yesterday? The ego is an exquisite instrument. Enjoy it. Use it. Just don't get lost in it. Suffering is the sandpaper of our incarnation. It does its work of shaping us. By acting compassionately, by helping to restore justice and to encourage peace, we are acknowledging that we are all part of one another. Just because you are seeing divine light, experiencing waves of bliss, or conversing with gods and goddesses is no reason to not know your zip code. Emotions are like waves. Watch them disappear in the distance on the vast, calm ocean. There is much more in any given moment than we usually perceive, and that we ourselves are much more than we usually perceive. When you know that, part of you can stand outside the drama of your life. All spiritual practices are illusions created by illusionists to escape illusion. Compassion refers to the arising in the heart of the desire to relieve the suffering of all beings. Prolong not the past. Invite not the future. Do not alter your innate wakefulness. Fear not appearances. Be here, now. Early in the journey, you wonder how long the journey will take and whether you will make it in this lifetime. Later, you will see that where you are going is here, and you will arrive now. So you stop asking. Psychedelics helped me to escape, albeit momentarily, from the prison of my mind. It overrode the habit patterns of thought, and I was able to taste innocence again. Looking at sensations freshly, without the conceptual overlay, was very profound. Working on our own consciousness is the most important thing that we are doing at any given moment. And being love is the supreme creative act. Souls love. That's what souls do. Egos don't, but souls do. Become a soul. Look around, and you'll be amazed. All the beings around you are souls. Be one. See one. When many people have this heart connection, then we will know that we are all one. We human beings all over the planet, we will be one. One love. And don't leave out the animals, and trees, and clouds, and galaxies. It's all one. It's one energy. Spiritual practices help us move from identifying with the ego to identifying with the soul. Old age does that for you too. It spiritualizes people naturally. You and I are the force for transformation in the world. We are the consciousness that will define the nature of the reality we are moving into. We are here now because God wanted us to meet.